It stood silhouetted against the grey sky, a monument to misery. The hospital loomed large, its presence a stark reminder of the countless lives that had passed through its doors, never to return the same. The building itself seemed to breathe, exhaling a sense of foreboding that could be felt even from a distance. The grey sky above only added to the sense of desolation, casting a pall over the entire scene. Cracked, stained walls whispered tales of suffering. Each crack, each stain was a testament to the pain and anguish that had seeped into the very fabric of the building. The walls seemed to hold memories, dark and twisted, of the souls who had once inhabited this place. The air inside was thick with the scent of decay, a constant reminder of the hospital's grim history. This was Cranbrook Mental Hospital, a place where hope went to die. Once a beacon of medical advancement, it had long since fallen into disrepair, becoming a shadow of its former self. The overgrown weeds and crumbling facade were a stark contrast to the hospital's once proud exterior. Now it stood as a grim reminder of the past, a place where the line between sanity and madness had often blurred. Locals spoke of it with fear in their eyes, a place consumed by darkness. Stories of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena were common, passed down through generations. The hospital had become a legend in its own right, a place where the supernatural was not just a possibility, but a certainty. The fear in the locals' eyes was palpable, a testament to the hospital's enduring legacy of terror.
My crew and I were about to spend 24 hours inside, to confront the darkness that lingered, to face the unknown. Armed with flashlights and cameras, we prepared ourselves for whatever lay ahead. The sense of anticipation was almost overwhelming, a mix of fear and excitement that coursed through our veins. We knew we were stepping into a place where the past and present collided, where the veil between the living and the dead was thin.
As we entered, a chill cut through the air, a physical manifestation of dread. The mist that clung to the entrance seemed to wrap around us, pulling us deeper into the hospital's embrace. The corridors were dimly lit, casting long shadows that danced on the walls. Each step echoed through the empty halls, a reminder of the countless footsteps that had come before us. The air was heavy with the weight of despair, a tangible presence that seemed to press down on us from all sides. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional creak of the building settling. It was as if the hospital itself was alive, watching us, waiting for us to uncover its secrets. The residue of countless tormented souls lingered in every corner, a haunting reminder of the hospital's dark past. Each room we entered seemed to hold a story, a fragment of a life that had been lost to the shadows. The atmosphere was thick with the weight of these memories, a constant reminder of the suffering that had taken place within these walls. This was not just a building, it was a conduit, a beacon for the paranormal. The hospital seemed to draw in the supernatural, a magnet for spirits and entities that had nowhere else to go. The broken windows and crumbling walls were a testament to the passage of time, but the energy that permeated the building was timeless, a constant presence that defied explanation. We were ready to document the truth. Our cameras were set up, our equipment ready to capture whatever we might encounter. The sense of anticipation was almost palpable, a mix of fear and excitement that kept us on edge. We knew we were about to embark on a journey into the unknown, to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within the walls of Cranbrook Mental Hospital. The dust motes danced in the faint beams from our flashlights, illuminating rusted medical equipment, discarded gurneys. The air was thick with the scent of mildew and decay, a testament to the years of neglect this place had endured. Each step we took seemed to echo through the empty halls, a reminder of the countless souls who had once walked these corridors. The walls, now peeling and cracked, whispered secrets of a time long past, when this hospital was a place of healing and hope, but now it stood as a monument to forgotten memories and lost lives. A sense of voyeurism washed over me, intruding upon the final moments of so many. It felt as if we were trespassing on sacred ground, a place where the boundary between the living and the dead was blurred. The rooms, once filled with the sounds of doctors and patients, were now silent, save for the occasional creak of the building settling. Each room we entered told a story, from the faded photographs on the walls to the abandoned personal belongings left behind. It was a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the inevitability of death.
A low groan echoed through the hallway, the building settling or something else. The sound sent shivers down my spine, and I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. The darkness seemed to close in around us, and every shadow took on a sinister form. It was as if the hospital itself was alive, breathing and watching our every move. The further we ventured, the more oppressive the atmosphere became, and the more I questioned our decision to come here. Billy, our tech expert, swore he saw a shadow vanish around a corner. Our pulses quickened. We exchanged nervous glances, each of us wondering if our minds were playing tricks on us, or if there was truly something lurking in the darkness. The tension was palpable, and every creak and groan of the building seemed amplified in the silence. We pressed on, driven by a mix of curiosity and fear, determined to uncover the secrets hidden within these walls.
We pressed on, the air growing colder, the silence heavier. It felt as if the very essence of the hospital was trying to push us out, to protect its secrets from prying eyes. The cold seemed to seep into our bones, and the weight of the silence was almost suffocating. Every step we took felt like a violation, an intrusion into a world that was not meant for the living. But we were determined to see this through, to uncover the truth behind the shadows of doubt that haunted this place. Each footstep echoed through the emptiness, a drumbeat of apprehension. The sound seemed to reverberate off the walls, creating an eerie symphony that only added to the sense of unease. It was as if the hospital was alive, and our presence was disturbing its slumber. The further we ventured, the more oppressive the atmosphere became, and the more I questioned our decision to come here. But we couldn't turn back now. We had to see this through to the end. The scent of decay clung to the air, a reminder of the hospital's grim past. It was a smell that seemed to permeate everything, a constant reminder of the lives that had been lost within these walls. The peeling paint and crumbling plaster were a testament to the passage of time and the neglect that had allowed this once proud institution to fall into ruin. But beneath the decay there was a sense of history, a feeling that this place had once been important, that it had once mattered. We were guests in a place where the veil between life and death felt thin, almost non-existent. It was as if the spirits of those who had passed on still lingered, watching us from the shadows. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, and every creak and groan of the building seemed to carry a message from the past. We moved cautiously, aware that we were treading on sacred ground, and that the secrets we sought to uncover might be better left undisturbed. But we were driven by a need to understand, to bring light to the darkness that had enveloped this place for so long. The old nursery still held the faint scent of milk and antiseptic, a heartbreaking juxtaposition. Tiny cribs lay empty, shadows seeming to writhe within them.
A faint giggle sent shivers down my spine. Children's laughter in this place felt wrong, deeply unsettling. Jay, our audio tech, swore he heard whispers, faint and mournful, emanating from the walls.
We moved towards the whispers, the hair on the back of my neck standing on end. The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen energy. A cold spot settled over us, a distinct pocket of cold in the otherwise stagnant air. Something was here with us. It was watching us. The operating room was a scene frozen in time. A rusty scalpel lay on a tray as if waiting for its next patient. The air reeked of antiseptic and something else, something metallic and cloying. This room had seen unimaginable suffering, and the energy within it was palpable.
Aaron, my cameraman, swore he saw a figure in surgical garb vanish through the doorway.
As we investigated, the lights flickered, then died completely. We were plunged into absolute darkness, the silence deafening.
Then, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the room, seeming to come from all directions. Panic threatened to consume us.
Section 5, Ward of the Lost.
We stumbled blindly out of the operating room, hearts pounding in our chests.
We found ourselves in a ward, rows of beds lining the walls. The air here was thick with despair, the weight of countless lost souls pressing down on us.
We felt a presence here, malevolent and cold.
As we moved through the ward, the temperature plummeted, the air grew heavy, making it hard to breathe. We heard the distinct sound of chains dragging across the floor, but when we turned, there was nothing there.
We were being toyed with. Suddenly, a figure materialized in front of us. Tall, gaunt, and shrouded in shadow, it emanated an aura of pure malice. Its eyes glowed with an eerie light, piercing the darkness. We were paralyzed with fear, unable to move or speak. This was the source of the hospital's darkness, the entity that haunted this place.
The entity glided towards us, its presence suffocating. We could feel its icy breath on our skin, smell the decay that clung to it. This was no hallucination, this was real, and it was terrifying.
Adrenaline surged through me. We had to get out now. We scrambled back, tripping over our own feet in our haste to escape. The entity lunged, its cold fingers brushing against my arm. The touch sent a jolt of pure terror through me.
We sprinted through the hospital, the entity's enraged screams echoing behind us. We didn't stop running until we burst out of the hospital doors and into the relative safety of the night. The events of the night played over and over in my mind. The whispers, the shadows, the entity. It was as if the darkness itself had come alive, wrapping around us, suffocating us with its presence. Every creak, every whisper seemed amplified, echoing in the silence of the night. The fear was palpable, almost tangible, as if you could reach out and touch it. It felt real, too real, but was it? The line between nightmare and reality had blurred, leaving me questioning everything I thought I knew. The sensation of cold sweat trickling down my back, the rapid beating of my heart, the dryness in my mouth, all these were signs of a terror that felt too genuine to be just a figment of my imagination. We collapsed on the ground, gasping for breath, our bodies trembling with fear and adrenaline. The weight of the experience bore down on us, leaving us drained and disoriented. Each of us looked at the other, searching for some semblance of understanding, some confirmation that we weren't alone in our terror. The shared experience bonded us in a way that words could never fully capture. The hospital loomed behind us, dark and silent. Had we imagined it all? The oppressive silence of the night seemed to mock our fear, as if the very walls of the hospital held secrets we were never meant to uncover. The shadows seemed to dance and shift, playing tricks on our already frayed nerves. The hospital loomed behind us, dark and silent. Had we imagined it all? The oppressive silence of the night seemed to mock our fear, as if the very walls of the hospital held secrets we were never meant to uncover. The shadows seemed to dance and shift, playing tricks on our already frayed nerves. Was it the power of suggestion, the weight of the hospital's history playing tricks on our minds? Or was there something more sinister at play? The stories we had heard, the legends of restless spirits and unexplained phenomena, all seemed to converge in that moment. The line between the living and the dead, the real and the imagined, had never felt so thin. As we stood there trying to make sense of it all, one thing was clear. The night had changed us, leaving an indelible mark on our souls.
As the sun rose, casting its golden light on the hospital, it seemed less menacing. But the fear lingered, a cold knot in my stomach. We had entered Cranbrook Mental Hospital seeking answers, but left with more questions than before. Was the hospital truly haunted, or were the ghosts merely figments of our own imaginations? The answer, like the shadows within those crumbling walls, remains elusive. But one thing is certain: I'll never forget the terror of that night. The terror of Cranbrook.